Hey, good morning, Choice Residential. Hope your day's off to a wonderful start. So we have a number of helpful tools in Suite Assist. One I want to highlight for you today is called the Seller's Homework. So this is kind of a cool document. It's something that you can either take with you on a listing appointment and leave with them or complete during the listing appointment, or even better is send it to them before the listing appointment, because if they complete it before you arrive for that listing appointment, then you know you've got a really great shot at taking the listing. But first, let me show you how to access it. So when you're here on the Suite Assist dashboard, just click on Office Documents over here to the left. And then you're going to have this intelligent search bar over here. So if I just start typing in seller, it will filter it out. And here is the seller's homework. So you can either click on this eyeball, which will allow you to view it, or click on this download button and download it as a Word document. It's going to come out looking something just like this. Now, this is a Word document, so it makes it easy for you to edit or add your own branding, change the wording, add lines, delete things, whatever you want to do here to make it your own and to make it relevant for you and your business. But the idea here is we're trying to collect information that we know you're going to need to complete the listing paperwork and to take and complete the listing. So I'm just going to go through it real quick. When you're using this, just make sure you edit the things that need to be edited here, including your name and phone number, email address. But what you would do is potentially, again, if you send this to them beforehand, it's a great strategy to email this to them before the listing appointment and say, hey, here's something we call the seller's homework. It's just some information that we would need to collect in order to take the listing. If you have a chance to fill this out before I get there, that would be great. If not, no problem. We can take a look at it when I'm at the house. But then that way you know that if you show up and they're at the door and they hand you this completed document, that's a really good sign that they are intending to work with you, because they wouldn't have taken the time to do this if that wasn't the case. So just a good clue. Doesn't mean they're not going to work with you if they haven't filled it out. It is a lot of information and some things that could be confusing to them without some guidance. But let's just jump in real quick, go through it, and then hopefully this is something you can use on your next listing opportunity. First thing, of course, property address and mailing address. We want to know if it's not a property that they are living in, where do we need to have as a mailing address? We're asking them about a survey, and if they have it, can we have a copy of it? Are there any changes to the property that would impact a survey, such as if they put up a fence or a shed or do some kind of addition to the property? Are they under bankruptcy or contemplating bankruptcy? Again, that's one of those questions that we often just assume the answer is no, but it's great if we can get the sellers to go ahead and give us that answer. And then, are there any easements on the property? And then any pending assessments. Most commonly, the thing we would see there is through the HOA, but this is just sparking conversation so that we can start talking about these things to get this information. Are there any leases on the property? Are there any restrictive covenants? If so, we're asking them to provide a copy. So that's an important thing. Whenever you take a listing, you always want to have a copy of the restrictive covenants. If you can't find them on the Register of Deeds website, then you need to ask the seller to get a copy. Often they can get that through their HOA management company if they don't have a copy available. Then we're asking if they already have a home warranty or if they wish to obtain a home warranty for their listing. Again, this is one of those things that left on their own to fill this out. They may not know exactly what that is. Some homeowners do, some don't. But just some information that you want to collect and talk about there. You're asking them if they have a termite contract, or you could change that to termite bond. Is the property in a flood zone? And then also, does your mortgage company require you to carry flood insurance? It's a different question than whether or not it's in a floodplain or a flood zone, but an equally important question, a little nuance to that. And then if so, we need to know the information about that insurance. Is the home inside the city limits? By the way, let me take this time to say, any information they provide on here, you need to validate and verify. Just because they say yes or no here doesn't make that the gospel. But this gives us an opportunity to have start asking questions, such as we get to this next question, the location and type of the septic system. Because if they tell you, oh, it's under the back deck, well, that's information that you need to know. And if they might tell you, oh, they have 4 bedrooms on the septic permit, but then you see the septic permit you pull says 3, well, maybe they had an amendment done or had that changed at some point, and the document you found just wasn't the most recent one. Whatever it is, anytime we can discover discrepancies in information, that's a good thing. That's what this form is meant to do, is to get the conversation going. You're asking them if they want to have a home inspection. You're asking them about a private road maintenance agreement if their home is in fact on a private road. We're going to ask them about an FHA appraisal. And the reason that's relevant is that if there had been one, that FHA appraisal sticks with the property for 4 months. That's relevant if they were to receive an FHA offer. The age of the roof and HVAC system. Continuing on to page 2, asking them about an alarm system. Less relevant today because often people have plug and go alarms, but still a good question to ask. We're asking them about any fixtures that they plan to take with them, any known construction or landfills, roads that could negatively impact the property. Okay, we want to know, what do they know about what's going on in the area? They're the ones that live there. We are real estate agents. We should know a lot about what's going on in the area. It's part of our job, but they are the homeowner. They're going to know as well as anyone what's happening. And then we're asking some information about these items: fuel tank, stucco, polybutylene, aluminum wiring. Again, also their legal names and marital status. Just because they live together doesn't mean they are married. So we want to make sure we have a clear understanding of that, as well as what their legal names are, HOA information, mortgage information, and then any other liens on the property. Lastly, we're asking them about their title insurance company. Some sellers will actually be able to pull out their title insurance policy for you. Great. Kudos to them. Not all sellers are like that, myself included. But if you look at the closing statement from when they purchased the home, that should have the name of the title insurance company and the closing attorney who's going to do this future transaction when they are under contract and closing on their sale. Just the name of the title insurance company will be enough for the closing attorney to find what they need. And then we're, of course, letting them know they can email this to you or they can just give you a copy when you see them at the house. So again, I went through it fast because this you'll be able to look at this, edit it, make any adjustments that you deem appropriate. But again, the idea here, the strategy here is to send this ahead of time, gives them some homework to do. And if they complete that homework, we know that is a big check in the right direction, that they are probably listing with you. But again, don't get too down if you don't walk in the front door and they hand it to you. No problem. Just make sure you bring a blank copy with you. Once you guys decide that you're going to work together, you can go ahead and go through this, or you can leave it with them to be picked up at a later time. Whatever logistics makes sense for you and your process. So hopefully this is helpful. By the way, don't hesitate to search the other documents we have in there in SuiteAssist. There's a number of things that could be really helpful for you as you're working your transaction. So if you have questions, comments, or thoughts, please put them in the comments below. Otherwise, as always, I'm just a phone call away. And until next time, take care.